Hello everybody, you're here on the channel of HeflaTV, the HeflaMoke channel. Usually a private channel, but there's so many games, so we have to go online with the third one. HeflaTV 1 and 2, they will be also casting games at the same time, but sure, here you have HeflaMoke yourself, plus our awesome co-caster coming here from America, Michael Loras. jDL, Season 3, Crypsis, the former known team Goomba, and mYinsanity, of course.
Yeah, so not really sure what happened to Crypsis so that they lost the Goomba tag, but hopefully they're going to be performing just as before because Goomba was a pretty damn good team. mYinsanity, no slouches either, so all in all I think this matchup should be fairly even.
Well, Goomba was a German team all in all, but I think they decided to just go with it. But I mean, we have Exist and Quicks and Crit, so I guess there has been quite some, I don't know, friendships pulled in the background, and like players from like smaller tier 2 teams, they just said like, hey guys, let's just go together and try to make a proper team. Looking down on their history now, like I think they had quite a successful start with their new team. Like, wait, they actually played yesterday, but for some reason it's not updated yet here on jDL, but it doesn't really matter. We have to see what this new team actually can offer as in performance. Like, they just took over the Goomba slot here in the jDL, so they just, yeah, remain in the Division 1.
It looks like most of MYM, or what used to be MYM, right? Like, Crit was there, I think Quicks was there for a little while.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure.
The Quicks was, I think, also TCN stand-in or player for a while. Shenya, that means something in Russian. That means wife. Yeah.
Oh,
Shenya.
this is the second player?
Yeah, the second player, Shenya. So I read this
Okay.
for you because it's Kurlic and you can't read it.
I'm not gonna remember that. I'll try to remember that. I'll just call him wife.
Yeah, we just call him wife. Oh no, just Shenya. Shenya should be fine, but yeah, mYinsanity actually. Oh, I had this night some talks with mYinsanity people, but from another completely different esport. Like I spent my entire night talking to managers, players, and casters from Heroes of the Storm, because that's where we go with HeflaTV on the new Heroes of the Storm channel. So I prepare all the expansion already. That's why I'm so rarely casting at the moment. But either way, let's look at the draft. What we got here. We are almost through the first round of picks.
I like how you snuck in just like that huge information and then just quickly passed over it. But we're going to go on. Death Prophet faces Void, going to be the picks for mYinsanity, whereas Crypsis opening with Doom, Skywrath, Mage. I would say overall mYinsanity have a little bit more synergy between their two heroes. Having Exorcism and Chronosphere up at the same time usually will result in kills. As many kills as you have people in the Chronosphere.
Yep, absolutely. And well, the good thing is the Skywrath Mage is on the other side. Otherwise, we would have a crazy synergy between Faceless Void and the Skywrath Mage. But talking about synergy, like not far away is still the Death Prophet. We have Crypt Swarm, Silence as a follow-up, and of course, whenever the Exorcism is up, is also going to do a ton of damage into that Chronosphere. So that's a combo I definitely like. But the Doom is, I guess, the seasoning that makes this entire thing really spicy. Brings the game to a focus of who gets the better initiation, because if that Doom manages a proper Doom on the Faceless Void, they fight this fight without the Chronosphere, and that's a big downside for mYinsanity.
I think it will be very smart for mYinsanity to pick up a whole bunch of heroes that Doom would want to Doom. They need supports, and Shadow Shaman is still in the pool, and right now Doom would like to Doom Faceless Void. He would love to Doom Death Prophet before she gets her ultimate off. After that, it's kind of like Crypt Swarm, getting rid of that isn't that big of a deal, but if mYinsanity pick up a Shadow Shaman, it's another hero that they have to time around, someone like an Enigma or a Silencer, heroes of that caliber that would like to be the target of Doom,
Yep.
the Doom from Crypsis is going to struggle so much with getting that good ultimate off.
Absolutely, and well, let's see what's coming out. Second bun stage is up, and they focus on the big fat ultimates as well as like those nasty cores that might come out on top of it. So no Ravage, no Ice Blast so far, and on the other side we have the Wraith King. So no Reincarnation and no core for Crypsis if they wanted to go for this one. So, well, Crypsis they focus more on like, I don't know, getting that Razor obviously out. That's just along the meta. The Nature's Prophet, that surprised me a bit, like that it came already in the first ban rotation, but sure. no split push, no global presence. I guess you really didn't want to have it. I mean, because you already have Faceless Void plus X, and the Nature's Prophet could also make sure just coming in whenever he calls that he wants to use the Chronosphere. So I guess that's a proper decision. Rasta is the last one to be banned, so also mYinsanity taking out some push potential now, and Earthshaker is the first start here of the 3rd and 4th pick.
So clearly mYinsanity prioritizing the Earthshaker just a little bit higher than that Shadow Shaman. Both of them can put a lot of damage into the Chronosphere. Earthshaker is a target that doesn't necessarily demand being doomed. Like, if you don't doom him, you'll deal with fissures and echo slams and stuff like that. But he's usually on the back end of the fight anyway, so actually getting to the Earthshaker to lay that ultimate on him is always going to be a little bit difficult. I do like the bans from Crypsis in the H-Apparition Tidehunter. Those are heroes that do contribute that huge amount in the team fight, while at the same time are very hard to get a beat on just because they will be very far back. So Crypsis, they're looking to play this draft out pretty smartly, but I don't know how long it's going to take until mYinsanity just have way too much AoE team fight that Crypsis can't possibly function anymore. Maybe this isn't even a silencer game?
It could be. Like, I mean, why not? That would mean a double silence. We have one silence coming out by the Doom, or actually a triple silence. We have the seal coming out by the Scarab Mage, and the silencer would make it even easier. Like, if you just imagine, like, you start with the global silence, that gives Doom and Scarab Mage to find actually the time. Make sure that, for example, the Earthshaker doesn't get a proper initiation, that maybe even the Death Prophet dies before she gets Exorcism off and everything. That might be definitely interesting.
It'll be hard to pull off. They'll need blink daggers and stuff, because once that global silence gets popped, 9 times out of 10 the enemy team is just going to be on full-on retreat, so you have to be able to catch up to them, find the right target, and then actually lay your spells down on them. So it'll be difficult to pull off if they do decide to go for something like that, but they could just try to out-deathball mYinsanity, and it looks like for now they're going to get a little bit more bulk on the front lines with the Bristleback pickup. It's a nice tanky hero to have, but it'll make the lanes a little bit awkward.
Yeah, I don't know how they want to lane it. I mean, we have 2 more to go, but I guess the Bristleback is kind of okay as in versus Faceless Void, but then again, a Bristleback versus Death Prophet, like, he doesn't really care too much about bristles. That's the biggest problem. Like, if you're really singled out as a target and you even die to the Exorcism, but whoa, Enigma into this, that's very interesting. That is very interesting, and to be honest, I fear that this might be not a good pick. Unless they convince me otherwise in the game. Because I'm just looking at it right now. We have a Death Prophet with a Silence. We have a Death Prophet with a Yule Scepter at some point. We have a Chronosphere. We have a Fissure, a Aquaslam, and Chant Totem. Everything that can disable the Enigma before getting the Black Hole up, or disabling it when the Black Hole is up. And then on top of that, a Mirana. Like, she even could go for a low-ranged arrow just to interrupt the Enigma. So getting these Black Holes in, that will be quite a task.
Yeah, I don't know if Enigma's going to get any black holes off unless mYinsanity royally screw up and, decide to clump S4 for whatever reason. Midnight Pulse is a nice skill to have against Faceless Void because he wants to be in the Chronosphere, but at the same time, once that Midnight Pulse gets dropped down, he doesn't want to be in the Chronosphere, so it's a dilemma there. Crypsis, they are going to kick out the Silencer, so maybe they're going to go for even more team fight. They need it in a core hero. I don't really know what route they're going to go for unless they pull out something extremely weird. This might be one of those games because between Enigma and Bristleback, 2 more fringe heroes that are seen kind of often, they are going to struggle a little bit. And now with the Lich pick up for mYinsanity.
Well, that adds some more damage into the Chronosphere, I guess. That's quite convenient. So right now, we have to face this Void, looking for awesome Chrono. Let's just assume he gets 2 or 3 targets in, and that's Crypt Swarm, guaranteed. Marana, as a ranged hero, can also DPS in there. We have a Lich now with the Frost Blast as well as the Chain Frost going in, and of course whatever the Earthshaker does. I mean, I guess he puts a Fissure inside and then follows up with the Acro Slam depending on how many targets there are in the Chrono. So right now I just prefer mYinsanity's draft. Like, definitely it's looking really good, but it's one of those games where it really comes down to how well does the Void place his Chrono. Like, this Chrono is very crucial, just as the Black Hole. Like, if this is gonna be an awesome Black Hole, sure. But, I don't know, with the Lich they also have an interrupt now. This is the 5th interrupt. If you count items and other abilities, we have like about 11 interrupts on the Enigma, unless he gets BKB. And even if there is a BKB, there's still the Chrono, and there's still the Chain Frost. Both of those abilities interrupt the Black Hole. But sure, we have a Magnus, which means we could have a nice follow-up, but either way, just let me swap the overlays really fast, and then we go into the game and introduce the teams.
Crypsis have a decent enough Wombo combo, but Mag into Enigma isn't as devastating as Chronosphere into Chainfrost, or Chronosphere into Exorcism, or Chronosphere into anything, really. But we'll see if this actually pans out. I do like the mYinsanity draft just a little bit more, but hopefully Crypsis can make something happen, because on the bottom lane they have Dumbass playing the Bristleback. Exist is going to be playing the mid lane Magnus. Crit is going to be handling the Enigma jungle, and the support is going to be Shenya on the Skywrath Mage. Top lane's going to be Quicks.
Oh, it's good you learn some Cyrillic today, because also on the other side we have someone that is, it's always so funny to hear casters actually calling him Booktop, but yeah,
Victor.
It's Victor. It's he's Serbian, but they still use Cyrillic signs, or like in this case, just written it with the Latin ones. But either way, Victor here on the Earthshaker, but right next to him we have Chrisine playing the Marana, and in the mid there's already like Celadon waiting for his block. We have someone guarding the rune, or at least someone who's looking for it. That's Smai. Also, like I saw some nice combinations. Some casters said, like, they said Set Mai, or they call him El Sat or something like that. But yeah, it's Smai. Either way, that's the Void, and the last one is Labron here on the Lich.
I'm just going to reconnect real quickly. My mic was not working in Dota TV for whatever reason.
That is bad for those people who are in Dota Talk, but at least on the stream everything is fine. Well, the lane's definitely interesting. Well, they fixed their mouse problems. I think that's what they said. Yeah, mouse problems. But yeah, this Lich Faceless Void, this is definitely, it's gonna be interesting to say the least, because the Lich is gonna make a decent support. As soon as he's level 3, he's gonna harass that Doom all the time. So he's been forced, or he will be forced into Scorched Earth. Plus, with the slows and then maybe some harassed right clicks of the Void, maybe some lucky bashes, like the Void will be pretty close to dying. But let's see how fast the supports are actually coming in here. I mean, Shenya is there, but to be honest, besides his slow, he can't really do anything like to help the Doom. For Crit, well, we have to see. I mean, he has one of the hardest games of an Enigma ever. Because we already talked about that this Enigma is probably not getting a black hole properly through, or if, then just at the second half of a fight, or maybe in just some ganks. Let's see how this is going. I mean, I think he has to rush a BKB ASAP, so he is just, yeah, having 2 interrupts against him.
Even if he does rush a BKB, he'll be facing up against Chainfrost Mini-Stun, which does cut through, as well as a Chronosphere.
Yeah.
I think it'll benefit Crypsis a little bit more if they decide to just get the Enigma the mech and then play his Black Hole as more of a secondary skill, like kind of ignore that, have him be a pusher / team fighter without the Black Hole, and then try to make a little bit of aggression early. Their lineup isn't the best for that, but at the same time, their lineup is not good for a Black Hole either, outside of a nice initiation from Mag. So Crit will have a tough time, but he should be forced to play differently because of that.
Well, it's gonna be a tricky one. I'm looking forward to it, because as I said, mYinsanity draft-wise, I just give them the small advantage here. Marana finds a regeneration rune, the worst rune you can find right at the start of the game, unless you really had already like a struggle with someone. But in this case, nope, it's not gonna do anything. So far, I guess Marana versus Bristleback, unless the Bristleback really gets her off guard with the leap already used, I don't think the Bristleback can do anything. He even has to be careful that there's not too much harass damage coming in, and with the Earthshaker making maybe an awkward block for him, it might be a kill. Then again, a Bristleback who gets solo experience, he will be very fast, tanky, and the Marana doesn't shine with right clicks, or right click damage that is.
It is going to be dual lanes in the end for mYinsanity. The top lane is going to go fairly decently. Lich Faceless Void dual lane is a pretty decent one. Bristleback is going to be going up against that Marana Earthshaker combination that you were talking about. This is not the most dangerous lane for Bristleback. He is a hero that has definitely seen a lot worse, especially since Marana isn't really going to be able to harass him back that much, especially once he gets a couple point in the Bristleback namesake skill. Then that with Stout Shield is going to mean that he's very survivable in that lane. So then it really comes down to mid lane, I think, where Exist is actually going to get a skewer back on a Celadon, putting a lot of damage into the Zeph Prophet. This is going to be the first blood. Exist gets it with the beautiful surprise skewer.
Yeah, like, I didn't think that Exist, like, really stops there, but apparently he does. TPing instantly in the mid again, obviously, but But still, this is quite a surprise. So yep, Crypsis here having a nice start, at least in the mid, and that Magnus, obviously, he's quite happy about it. The bottle coming in, using the Tanga right now, so he should be just fine at level 2. Crypsis won't kill him, unless there's 2 right clicks coming right after, but I just doubt it, because also there's boots missing on the Death Prophet at the moment, so yeah, good start.
Yeah, Celadon getting a little bit over-aggressive. When you have health differential like that, it's really hard to not be over-aggressive, so kind of understandable where this Death Prophet's coming from, but at the same time, giving up a solo kill whenever you're the mid lane hero is never what you want to do. Like, that's probably the worst possible scenario outside of having your carry getting solo killed due to an offlaner. That's a little bit worse, but still the situation is pretty bad in mid as they do go for Dumbass down on bottom. Fissure into Arrow is a tough combination to land because Fissure at level 1 doesn't actually stun for very long.
Yep, absolutely. The stun is 1 second. That gives you, I don't know, with the Mirana, only some units to actually stand away, and that's pretty much it. In the mid, well, the Death Prophet has quite some trouble, of course, like keeping the HP up as soon as Exist starts spamming this, and he will start, even though his bottle at the moment not moving. It's sitting for like some seconds already in the fountain, so not the most effective macro at the moment, but now it's on the way. Apparently it's on the way to Enigma and then going to the Magnus, so I guess that's what they've been waiting for. The recipe of the Soaring was missing.
Enigma is going to be happily jungling away, and mYinsanity, because they're running dual lanes, it'll be a little bit difficult for them to actually make rotations into the jungle. If top lane moves out, it's going to be the most clear thing in the world for Crypsis. They're going to dodge that one, no problem. They're going to need the Earthshaker to move up top, and that involves, you know, a lot of time where he's going to have to go behind his tier 1 tower to try to remain hidden, or he could smoke up to try to get this Enigma, but overall the Enigma should have a very easy time, and mYinsanity, they're not making a move to disrupt this Enigma's farm at all. Could bite them in the ass, though. A farming Enigma isn't the most dangerous thing in the world.
Look at that Earthshaker, like he has 3 Bristle stacks. Now, he's gonna get the 4th. Now, the 5th is not a killer yet, but the arrow landing him, and he's also using the stick, so right now Christine is just getting, some right clicks in, and also hitting him in front with a double Starstorm. No, this won't be enough. This won't be enough. Oh, will it? 2 more hits required. And he actually gets them. No, the sticks is keeping him alive at the moment. Now Christine, he's in trouble, of course. He has to use the self. There's no TP at the moment on the Bristleback, but Christine, oh, he's coming back here. No, now he has the Starstorm, and that should be a kill. Oh, he's not using the Starstorm. Oh, now he uses the arrow, but whoa, like he would. Did you see he faked the arrow twice? I was like, oh my god, one more spray, and that would have been it.
I think if Mirana was just sitting still and right-clicking, then she would have gotten the kill, but decides to use a little bit more mana just to be sure. Against a Bristleback, it's always better to be sure than safe than sorry, because he does have that extra survivability. Bristleback, though he was in a very awkward position, played that one pretty well. Of course, baiting out the stick charges into the last possible second, and then when he was fighting up against the Mirana, he hit her and then turned his back to her. And the attack speed of the Mirana meant that every single time she got an attack out, she was hitting the back of Bristleback. So he was getting as much value as he possibly can, but in the end, he doesn't have Warpath, so he just wasn't doing enough damage. 59 base is okay, but it's not that much.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, at the moment, like, the funny part is that, like, even though he gave the first blood, he's still doing fine here, our Death Prophet in the mid, and, well, the fact is also, like, after this little brawl in the jungle, like, Christine had to go back to the base, so the Earthshaker is quite happy, because he got level 4 there in the lane. That was almost 2 creep waves where he got the full experience alone, and that, of course, helps, because we are 5 minutes in, and support Earthshaker is level 4, so give him another 2 levels, and we have an additional Aqua Slam to work with, so that's definitely good news.
Top lane, Chenyan in a little bit of trouble. He's going to get jumped upon by Time Walk, and a nice bash. One more bash maybe. 7 stick charges available for Faces Void, and he's just going to run the Skywrath Mage down, somehow having enough movement speed for that. Skywrath actually doesn't have boots, and now the Faces Void going to turn his attention onto Quicks, but here comes backup from the Enigma. Does have a level 1 Malphite only, but the Lich is coming in as well. This Faces Void is fearless, has another level 2 Time Walk available. He's going to get Malphite up, but it looks like he should be just fine. So a free kill for the Faces Void.
I wonder why the Lich was not coming in there. I mean, he was busy with the neutral stab, but to be honest, I think if they would have like really rushed the Doom, right clicks plus the Frost Blast, I think that might have been a kill with some lucky bashes, but he was like, nah, Faces Void, you know, do your business, I farm in the meantime. It should be the other way around, but, well, definitely interesting.
Hey, 1 kill is nothing to complain about. That's all well and good for the mYinsanity side, getting Faces Void some solo kills. He is sitting at 1400 gold. Do you think he might be going for a Midas this game?
It is a distinct possibility, but I mean, so far the game is relatively slow. Like all the kills we saw were just kills that were based on boots versus no boots. And okay, the only thing that was absolutely unexpected was really that first blood in the mid, that exists cut. But I mean, that level 1 first blood, that just gave him like a temporary advantage on the mid lane. Now everything should be fine. They're both at the same level, but this might actually change because there is Crit and Shenya, but they dive top, hit the Chronosphere, and Quicks should be down. He is down.
They're going to bring in the mag, but he has no mana. He's going to try for a blind skewer on the Faceless Void, though Moonlight Shadow is going to be a little bit difficult to tag that. If he had RP and skewer, that would have been at least 1 kill, but
no mana.
Unfortunately, he didn't have the mana.
Yeah, the bottle is actually on the Y. It's flying across the map. That's why I said like this TP. Like if you TP top and you don't have mana there, like then yeah, now he's losing like the second creep wave in mid probably, and if the Death Prophet even wants to, he could go for that tower, but I don't know, he decides not to go for the Exorcism because there's still the Magnus and just pulling it all away.
I think I would have gone for it there. He's actually gone for a little bit more of an unorthodox Death Prophet build and maxing out Witchcrafts before Crypt Swarm. Not usually seen, but it does make your Exorcism a lot stronger for a small window, and if you're not using it, then you might as well just have gotten the Crypt Swarm, and then you'll have that extra nuke damage. Regardless, I don't think it's going to matter too much in the end, because Mag did pull the creep wave off pretty quickly. So, you know, the push damage would have been a couple hundred, maybe, but wouldn't have made a terrible huge difference. Crit and Quicks, though, they're both smoked up, and they're looking for what looks like top lane. They got a Black Hole, they have Doom, and who's going to be the unlucky recipient of those skills? Victor is in a perfect position to interrupt everything. Faceless Void does have a Time Walk level 3. But here comes the Doom. He will spot him out and get the ultimate off. He got some shot to follow, plus Malphus. The Faceless Void shouldn't escape, and looks like even though their Shaker actually bailed completely. So yeah, dead Faceless Void.
That was, I don't know, he stood there, was waiting for something on the side shot, but in the end, well, that's his death. Now we just have to see how much damage they get on the tower. There's still a Fissure, there's still Frost Blast for Harass. They should be just fine, especially now that the Earthshaker got his Soaring. Like, he can pretty much spam all the time. In the mid we have some Illusions doing some tower damage as such, but of course Magnus not the best of all pushers. What I'm quite happy about is of course that the Prussaback is still doing fine regardless of that one push, but in the mid we have a rotation. There is the Void coming in, and it should be the Chrono, but he's putting him under the tower.
Well, there's the Chrono finally. No Exorcism because no mana, so they're not going to use that skill. Unfortunately, that means they're not going to be able to push this tower off of that Exorcism and the mag kill, but Faceless Void going in really deep, whether intentionally or not, due to that skewer back. He has gone for Hand of Midas in the end, and he did proc it before he died up on top, and then he instantly gets a kill over on mid. It's a hard kill to get, though Mag did just now pick up his Blink Dagger, so I don't think a kill like that is going to happen again.
Yep. By the way, like, you already talked about the Midases, and we actually have 2 of them now ticking. One on the Doom for the old school, like, let's both take Devour plus Midas, which is of course very strong, but also the Void managed quite nicely his Midas in time, and he's going even for more Gloves of Haste. That might be the PTs done, then into Maelstrom, or Maelstrom directly, but I guess it's PTs, which is always better. There is something in the Courier, and it's a second Gloves of Haste. He's actually going for the second Gloves of Haste.
That's, well, you gotta get that attack speed, I guess. Skywrath Mage, in the meantime, with the help of Exist, that's just an RP into damage, not even Mystic Flare being used over on mid lane, but second Gloves of Haste, yeah, it's just good to be Power Tread. So this Faceless Void is actually going to be attacking pretty damn quickly, and now Dumbass in a little bit of trouble. Unfortunately for the mYinsanity side, I don't think this arrow's going to land. Don't go into there. There you go. Bristleback is going to be home free as Victor's gank was completely spotted by the creep wave.
Yep, but let's see. I think they want to make something happen top here. We still have a Black Hole waiting for them, but yeah, they need to be both at the same time. And Enigma, that's what I've been afraid, like all the time in the draft. Like the Enigma rushed the mech, got the mech, sure, but like there's no Blink Dagger, there's no BKB, so right now they're still vulnerable to everything that interrupts. Like she could have farmed a Blink Dagger. With that Blink Dagger we might have seen actually a double Black Hole on the Lich and the Void here, but yeah, with the mech, sure, at least they get some pushes up here. With 4 Eidolons, they haven't replicated yet, I think.
Jump in from the Faceless Void, lands Chronosphere onto 2, but unfortunately decides to go for quick. So ultimately that Chronosphere did absolutely nothing, but now they're going to reinitiate. There's a Fissure onto crit, as Celadon does move forward for a Silence. Will land on crit once again. they're going to, at the very least, force back Crypsis from their tower and get the tower denied. So they do use the Chronosphere for it. I think it's okay.
Yep. I don't know what that chrono was. It was like, I don't know. In the end, I mean, it serves the only purpose it served was getting that deny on the tower. But oh, in the mid, that was an arrow for Exist. It's just scraping his eyebrows. But now Cuisine is coming in here, but Skewer to the low crown, at least to the river line. But there is no leap left. But unfortunately, also no one else who could just chase. So Exist just makes sure he's on the right angle. He has, and that's the interesting part. They're waiting for whatever is coming here. Nice little shockwave. Another arrow that does not hit. But oh, Christine, now you're in trouble. There's the RP, and yeah, he's just dead.
But now they're in a little bit of trouble because coming from the side, it's going to be Celadon with the Exorcism already active. They're going to catch on too. Mex will help them escape a little bit as Exist does skewer himself out, so he's going to be just fine. Also from the back, Dumbass looking to fight a little bit perhaps. mYinsanity, they get what looks like a nice initiation after the fact that they lose their Mirana, but unfortunately the Exorcism is not going to be enough to do the damage, and there's not enough crowd control to keep them there. They might take this tier 1 tower with the rest of this Exorcism, but
the Doom
not?
out on the Void here, but he was the lonely aggressor here. Now he's following up, but is there a level def or anything? No, there's nothing. There's really just right clicks, and with the bottom ultimate, they're just safe. But oh, the Magnus! Bringing him not low enough. I can't even believe it. There's an arrow flying, but he's just dodging it really, really fast. And now this Fisher is beautiful. Now he has nowhere to go. He only has the dagger, but I don't think he's getting it together. Now Smite's just turning around, but oh my god, 17 HP. That was so close.
This Void just manning up in the face of Magnus. It's going to be him limping back to the base. 1 assist. Richer, I believe. Yes, it was Murano who got the kill. In the meantime, mYinsanity, they did lose the tier 1 tower in the mid lane. Enigma with those maxed out Eidolons doing pretty serious damage. And bottom lane also in a little bit of trouble as well. Dumbass going to play Ring Around the Rosie, but we'll get the tower denied from him. He should be able to kill off Victor because Victor doesn't have any more support, though Crystalback doesn't have much mana. I think it should be a very easy run down and beat down. Even Echo Slam being committed, but this is a dead Earthshaker. Dumbass though going to get Time Walk upon, and now with the Chronosphere with the Midnight Pulse, Dumbass is going to make this a 1-for-1 trade as Mirana gets yet another kill.
Yep, I don't know if that was really worth it, like that high value kill on the Priscilla, and now they might even go for crit here. Like the Midnight Pulse was everything but scary, and with that Frost Blast I think that's kill secure. Or does even Smite get this one? Like the ward, just like that, like oh I'm dying, I might as well place a ward here. So well, it's a 2-for-1 trade and a tower denied. I don't think that was a good trade. I think that was very greedy, very optimistic going in there. They should have just left the Bristleback where he is, make it a 1-1 trade with a tower denied.
Yeah, if you're a Bristleback, you kind of have to go for that. If you're Enigma, you don't necessarily have to help your ally. I think the Bristleback played that correctly, but the Enigma just stayed for way too long. Maybe thought he would be able to get a black hole off or something. To be fair, mYinsanity did bring a lot of heroes really quickly, so hard to evaluate what would have happened. But it looks like Crypsis, off of that minor loss, they're going to go into the Roshan pit, it looks like. They don't have any Eidolons here, though they do have a decent amount of damage. It's not going to be the fastest or the safest, because mYinsanity are right outside.
This is actually dangerous. I mean, there's no chrono, so at least from this aspect, it's not going too well. The minus armor is there, of course, for Nazagu. This is a level 1 Roshan, so it should be okay-ish, but you already said it. Like, crit without Eidolons, Roshan is still gonna take some time. But yeah, Exorcism being popped in the mid. There's no cliff. No, the cliff's still like on cooldown, so they're gonna do this Roshan, but I don't think it's enough to defend anything here. So in the end, it's a tier 1 for a Roshan trade. I guess you can do that.
They get a skewer back, very short on Celadon. Can they burst this death buff down? Arrow's going to apply a hit onto Exist. That means no RP because he's going to get hit with stars and he's going to go down. Still the damage from Celadon as he does try to run away from this Doom, but Victor is there for the disruption. His Death Prophet is going to get doomed up, but that's not going to do much value. And now the Moonlight Shadow as the Phase Void and the Chain Frost. Goodbye Crit, goodbye Dumbass. That's actually only his Aegis. But still a very nice duo combination. Do they have any more crowd control for Dumbass? I don't even know if they want to be focusing this Crystal because he has the Vanguard. He's going to turn this one around, and now Grazine in a little bit of trouble because he doesn't have a leap actually. Quick's going to get in there with a stomp. Now they're going to focus their attention onto the Lich. That's going to be him dead. Dumbass still charging forward. Has 9 stick charges, now 10. Who's he going to go for? It's going to be the Faceless Void. Time Walk though, going to make it a little bit difficult for them to get that kill. And Dumbass wants to go
with that arrow.
more in, but he gets tagged with an arrow. Echo Slam as well, almost killing off the Skywrath. The Face Void does jump for that Skywrath kill, and Earthshaker will secure the kill on the Bristleback. Crypsis overextending just way too much.
Yeah, that was greed. That was so greedy. I mean, it could have worked, but it was so on the edge, and that arrow in the end that just sealed the deal there. Mirana, like, Krazim had to retreat. He couldn't go in anymore. He only had mana for that one arrow, but that arrow just turned it all around, and then in the end, Bristleback going down again. Plus the Scarab Mage there. And finally, someone has something, like as in detection, because that is something I think that was the biggest downside of this fight. No one had detection. No one. Like, they used the Mirana ultimate, the Moonlight Shadow, and they just escaped based on that and then made this chrono turn around. A beautiful chrono, by the way, because 2 targets, no one else around, and that Chain Frost, it was just, yeah, picture perfect.
It doesn't get much better than that, except for the fact that Bristleback did have the Aegis. I was going to say that Crypsis would be completely okay with a trade Roshan for a tier 1 tower, since against Death Prophet, you're probably going to lose your tier 1 tower anyway. It's not long for life just having that enemy on the field, so getting something in exchange is always nice, but ultimately they don't really get as much as I would have thought. The Aegis in the Bristleback was certainly very nice. It let them chase a little bit further, which could have been good, but they just decided to chase way too far. So ultimately, mYinsanity should be okay with how that exchange went, and that's going to put the experience earned slightly back into their favor. Goldern, though, still in favor of Crypsis. Mostly can be attributed to Doom. This now does go for Grazine on bottom. Doom has been committed, and they're just going to chase this Mirana down. Easy kill for the Doom. Going to end a killing spree as well. This guy's going to be very, very wealthy by the time this game ends.
I think he even... Wait, what? He ate? I think he ate a wrong creep. Look at that Doom's aura. He ate a small Alpha Wolf. But I think top, we might have a go here. Smy, he has a Chronosphere, but at the moment, no, he doesn't want to use it. He's going for from back assist, putting him in that position, but that is just a nice setup here. But in the end, oh, Smy, he's really, really low. One more Shockwave, that is just enough. But Exorcism is already out, and Dumbass has to run. I don't think that's a good idea to chase this Death Prophet here. They should just wait, but they're not even planning to, because there's the RP, double stun, and there's the Black Hole Exist. Living on the edge, but in the end, it's just enough. It's a 3-for-1 trade here in the top lane, plus that Christine death, which they TP'd from. Make that a 4-0. Definitely a good one. That is 11-11, 18th minute.
Yeah, Crypsis actually didn't lose a single person up on top, plus the tower is dropped down to deny range. I don't know if they know about that yet, but I'm sure soon enough someone will back up and deny that. They're going to put a little bit of pressure onto the top lane with these Eidolons, and well, there are a couple of heroes from mYinsanity available to defend, most namely Victor with his Blink Dagger. This could be a beautiful Echo Slam, so if you're Crit, if you're Shenya, you really have to watch yourselves. Arrow's going to fly, not going to catch anyone. It looks like they will back off, happy with the damage they've done, and now they should find the deniable tower.
Yep, I think it was the right decision to just go back, maybe even hide to the side, make something more happen, because Doom is ready again. And yeah, I definitely like that. That Blink Dagger, remember when I said, like, in the draft that I think it comes all down to, like, who finds a proper initiation, and that Blink Dagger on the Doom, they should always just let them come. Look where the void is, someone can scout, like for example Exist, and well, then just make sure you find that nice initiation on the Chronosphere, because the Chronosphere is what really screws with the current tactic. But yeah, you saw it last Chronosphere. There was not really any follow-up damage. There was also another Chronosphere that was just passively used. So at the moment, Chrono not having too much impact. But then again, we also haven't seen the crazy combinations, except for that one in the mid where we had the Chain Frost on 2 targets. So I'm still... The damage, the external damage into the Chronosphere, it's gonna get bigger and bigger at some point here, so let's see what we see in the future.
Well, it's going to be a bait up on top. Skywrath Mage trying to make himself look tasty, but mYinsanity not going for it because their Faceless Void is in a lot of trouble. There's the Moonlight Shadow keeping everyone safe for now, though Quix is going to be quickly overwhelmed. He does have a Blink Dagger plus a lot of regeneration, Scorched Earth. Can he blink it to the trees, or does he even need to? No, he's just going to blink out to safety as Dumbass is coming around, going to catch eyes on Grazine. And the Moonlight Shadow just now times out. They're going to put all their forces to bear as Quix does return to this fight. They're going to catch eyes on Celadon now. And with the Nasal Goo, they're going to start beating down this Death Prophet. Don't think you can get this kill, Dumbass, but he's going to try for it. There's the Fissure going to hit on that Bristleback, but he's so tanky, taking pretty much no damage from all those skills. Crit's going to slowly walk in for a Malphus. Going to land onto LeBron. There's the Chronosphere, only onto Crit, however. They should be able to kill off this Enigma with a Chain Frost being committed. They sure as hell will. but they're going to lose a top tier tower in the meantime. Everyone else from Crypsis backs off safely. That's a lot of commitment for an Enigma kill.
That would have been quite a bit beautiful for Exist here. If Exist were there, somewhere in the vicinity, we would have seen like a triple or even a quadruple RP, but unfortunately they were top. So it's a tower for Enigma. I guess a trade you can do anytime anyway, but you see how Dumbass is like really playing it well, going aggressive. They know once they're out of position, he is just, you know, putting all those boogies on him. But oh, in the mid, oh, fake RP, another fake RP, but oh, Faceless Void. That is a bad Fissure at the moment. It's helping Exist more than the Void, so Smythe finding himself on the wrong side of the Fissure. Too bad.
He could have landed, I believe, both of those RPs, so I mean, I don't really know if he just was trying to mess with the enemy or he just actually just didn't want to, so he was like, yeah, we'll just see what happens if I do this.
It's psychological warfare. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta
psychology.
get into your opponent's head sometimes.
Well, that's what you need. Like, I mean, if you have a... I mean, we have 3 big ultimates, like the really old school ultimates here at the moment on the pitch. We have a Black Hole, we have a RP, and we have a Chrono. And at the moment, of course, like, there's 2 of those ultimates on one side, so there always has to be, like, this permanent fear on mYinsanity that, like, guys, we need to spread, guys, we need to be careful, Black Hole is back up, RP is back up, etc., etc. It's the same, like, for Crypsis, obviously, because they count all those seconds down to the Chrono, which is ready right now, for example, and, well... The good thing is that, like, if the Chronosphere is not optimal, then suddenly the fights might shift into Crypsis' favor with the other 2 ultimates there. Because the downside of the Chrono is that, let's say you land the Chrono, that's for everyone, like, the sign, like, hey guys, let's follow up, do damage, but, for example, if Exist is not in there, he might blink just through the Chrono on the other side and get, like, a triple RP of all those ranged hero trying to DPS into the Chrono, and that what makes it so, yeah, so devious, I guess, as a strategy.
Yeah, this game is going to very much so hinge upon how many heroes get hit with those big ultimates. Whoever hits more for longer, if you're talking about black holes and stuff like that, then they're probably going to come out ahead. Of course, the farm is going to matter somewhat. At a certain point, Faceless Void is going to be pretty unkillable from the Crypsis side, because he will have all this farm, and really there's no one from Crypsis that could handle a farm Faceless Void, with the exception of just laying a Doom onto him and then trying to focus him down then. It's a decent way to go, but Faceless Void's late game is absolutely terrifying, and Crypsis don't really have a late game to match that. They're going to go up top mYinsanity. They have an Exorcism available, and they're going to try to force a tier 2 tower push, it looks like.
Yep, I don't know what Smite just did there. That was just a very aesthetic time walk on the ruins of the tower. I guess a bit trolling whatsoever, but, well, that's what we go with. Roshan is gonna be back in, well, a minute or so, and I'm just trying to fix a goddamn stream. I love this. Like, my second monitor is broken, and so I'm using like a very old one. It reminds me of the old times, 10 years ago, esports on mini monitors. Either way, it's 12:11, 24th minute here. It's been, yeah, approximately 11 minutes since we looked the first time into the graphs, and now we see it. Like, Crypsis at the moment has the XP advantage. It's not much, not for 24 minutes. For 24 minutes, this is, yeah, this is one big team fight, and this might just turn around. For gold, well, they work towards the 7.5 mark at the moment, but even that, like a fight around Roshan that mYinsanity Crypsis loses, but oh, look at the Enigma. There's the stun.
Yep, chain stun, easy kill on the Enigma, who crucially did not actually have a TP scroll. If he did, that would have been a free escape, but just goes to show, kids, always carry a TP scroll. They save lives. And the timing is perfect for mYinsanity, because they get the kill, and then they see Roshan. Exorcism will shred this Roshan pretty quickly, and they have Chronosphere backup as well.
Yep, that's exactly what they need. Like, with that kill on Enigma, no Black Hole being there, no buyback available either. This Roshan is going so fast down. Dumbass is the one who spots it out, but you don't want to be around here. The bottom ultimate being used, Roshan is going down, and they might even find more. Oh my god, he just got the Fissure, and now he's being followed. There's Smite, but I don't think they're gonna use the Chronosphere for this one, because with the Exorcism, oh, now the Chrono, and Exist is in there. That's bad news, of course. Double Crypt Swarm incoming, but oh, that Chain Frost. Who needs more bounces when you have Echo Slam? That's 2 down and 2 important heroes down. With this, we might actually see even more. A tier 2 tower, for example.
Yeah, they probably will get this tier 2 tower. The Lich, I think got over eager at the possibility of landing a 2-hero Chain Frost again, just decided to throw it, but I don't think it hit anyone actually. Like it hit the corpse and then it didn't bounce to the bristleback in the end, or the mag. So unfortunately for him, he completely wasted his ultimate, but hey, it's 2 kills, you can't be too upset about that. Plus a tower, everything's great for mYinsanity right now, as after that Roshan, they get a whole lot more than they really should have. Crypsis overextending just a little bit too much.
Yep, it's just not working at the moment. Like I really thought they're gonna fight more as a team, but at the moment we just have multiple like small incidents where mYinsanity says like, hey guys, no problem, they come one by one, let's just get them. And they also use the timers of course perfectly, like Exorcism ready, double damage rune even picked up, and after a kill they just sneak Roshan, which is always bad news for the Dire side. I mean, it's not over. With those big ultimates the fights can be always either way, but oh, let's see. Maybe the stun. Yep, Malphus is up, and there's the Doom on a death profile, but he's so goddamn fast. It should be still enough. Yes, it is.
A lot of damage coming out from maxed out level death, which I believe should have hit the level multiplier. It did. So Death Prophet getting chunked really hard by that skill. Now the crackback from Crypsis. Their pushing is mostly in the hands of the Enigma and the fact that they just are naturally so bulky. It'll be a little bit slower for them to take down this tier 2 tower, but they're going to go for it anyway. They don't have Doom, though they do have a Blink Black Hole with, of course, Magnus RP to hopefully set that up. But Victor's up on the top side, does not have a Blink Echo, which would have been devastating. He gets jumped upon. They have 3 Blink Daggers, and he has to force that down to low ground, but there's a 3-man Chronosphere. Where's the Chain Frost? 3 seconds off. There's no follow-up, but it will be enough to kill off the Enigma regardless. BKB now up with the Faceless Void. He's going to try to away. Finally, the Chain Frost is there. They will secure the Doom, who got, I believe, tagged by an arrow. They're going to chase after the Magnus, but they shouldn't be able to catch him. The only person left is Bristleback, who will probably get this kill on Lich, but I don't think he's going to escape. They need another Time Walk down. Time Walk mana is now up, slowing him down, but the Bristleback does get the kill. He will go down in exchange. Crypsis getting really just completely crushed by that Chronosphere.
Yeah, two supports and like 2 cores plus important ultimate like just going down. It's another trade that was just not worth it, because there's also nothing really happened on the objectives. The tier 2 tower is still standing underneath, just got some scratches here and there. That is no, this is not how it should be. Also, like, I mean, they come in with the RP and a black hole, but before either of this is happening, like, I don't know, it's just not working out at the moment, especially when both of the heavy ultimates are being in a Chronosphere caught. That's the worst news you can have for this draft.
They did get the Earthshaker in the end, but they blinked really aggressively with 3 heroes towards a hero that ordinarily wouldn't warrant that much attention. That just is a huge green light for Faceless Void, who off of that is going to finish his Mjolnir, has a BKB already with Hanamitis. He's sitting on another 1,500 gold. This guy is going to pick up some pretty serious items. He actually has more gold per minute than the enemy Doom, who also has Hanamitis. Let that sink in for a second. Faceless Void has more farm than the Doom. It's going to be really scary for Crypsis moving forward.
That Faceless Void, that's the problem. I mean, at the moment, or like in the last couple weeks and month actually, like, we saw so many utility voids where it was like, yeah, Mr. Blue Bubble Man, just land your chrono and everything's gonna be fine. But now this void is not just, you know, the funny blue man with the bubble. He is actually doing a lot of damage. That's a complete Mjolnir's plus fresh Black King Bar with 9 seconds, and oh my god, dumbass, you don't want to be here.
Fissure is available. They set up with an arrow, and Celadon very smartly moves to the front of Dumbass. Although his back is turned to everyone, he has no chance in hell at escaping. Although the Faceless Void does jump into the trees. Somebody get that guy out. They have a Force Staff. There you go. Mystic Flare being used, which did actually pretty much nothing. There was a lot of backtracks, it seemed.
Yeah, that's the funny part. You can't really see anything. Oh, crit! He thought he's still in there, but now he is in the blue bubble. But oh, in the background there's already Echo Slam on the Skyrimage. He's dying now. Crit! He doesn't even get it off. That is 3 down, and I don't know, with all this happening, we might as well just see tier 3 push now. This is high ground.
Exorcism status is up, and Crypsis, they have an RP, but RP with no follow-up isn't that scary, actually. Especially since everyone's so tanky from the mYinsanity side. This tier 2 tower is going to get put into a blender, and they have no fortification. This might even be Rax's right now. The Exorcism damage is so huge, and Crypsis,
it is.
They're not buying back.
It is Rax. Like, Cliff not available, and with 3 people just feeding away these bad decisions, like, nope, that was really not good. And mYinsanity, they're very, how can I say this, a very sober and disciplined playstyle. They're like, okay guys, we got this, so we go for this. Like everything is like action and reaction, and at the moment mYinsanity, they understood the game the best. They make even this like very efficient move now through the bottom lane, getting that tier 1 tower where there's no backdrop protection anyway, and everything is good. Everything is good. I mean, this is a tier 3 tower, 3 kills, 2 racks, and a tier 1 tower on the way back. I don't think there is much more efficient playstyle possible unless you, I don't know, get more kills or more racks.
You could even speak that same point to mYinsanity's item choices, most namely the Desolator from Mirana. About 23 minutes in, she had the Power Treads, Vunaquila drums, no Midas, no Desolator, but she's found a huge amount of farm in the meantime. And with the Desolator, it'll have huge synergy, not only with the Faceless Void and whoever's in the Chronosphere and the Enchanted Totem, that'll be pretty sweet, but most importantly, the Exorcism. They're going to jump forward, exist, spending everything he has to try to catch someone with the RP. But now he's going to get jumped upon as he just gets thrown up into the air. Chronosphere can land. It will land on Dumbass as well. A little bit unintentional, but it will be a kill nonetheless on Exist. Now he's going to chase forward. Time Walk again with a 2-man fissure. They're going to try to focus on Crit and Dumbass at the same time. Crypsis going to catch on too. Both these supports dropping very low. Dumbass going to turn this one around. Going to try to go for victory in the meantime, but it's taking so much damage from this Desolator Mirana. The Chain Frost does get thrown, but they clean up everyone in the end. Crypsis. Yeah, they just got cleaned again.
I mean, this was the plan in the first place. Like this Mirana ulti we saw there, this was merely for the fact that like, hey guys, I think they're pushing, so we just stay here with the Moonlight Shadow, and then we wait for awesome chrono. Like Crypsis was actually quite slow, but I don't think because they noticed. I think just because they were actually slow. And well, again, action reaction. If you feed 3 away, then yeah, you might as well just get that tier 2 tower and more. This time there should be a cliff available. No, it's still on cooldown for another 50 seconds, and again, perfect timing. The buybacks have to come out, otherwise this game is over.
It might just be over anyway because they bought back really late. They're just jump in for a nice... Oh no, it's actually a 1-man only, really. Victor's going to jump in and retaliate in full. And Crypsis, they just get evaporated again. That looked like such a great RP, but it was just on the edge of so many people, I guess.
Yeah, it just got one person in there, and like the big RPs and the big black holes were just missing. Like the Chronosphere just being the superior ultimate, plus like the place and the positioning on the map, it just gave mYinsanity really the opportunity to get single pickoffs, and that is pretty much what decided the game. Because whenever we saw Crypsis playing S5, going S5 and spreading enough for the Chronosphere, like they actually made quite some turnarounds. They only just fed away a lot of stuff when they were a bit too confident, and they thought like, hey guys, we have the counter. But either way, it's a 2-game series, guys, as usual here in the JDL, so game 2 will be up in just a second, so hang in there.
GG, guys.